Hi guys, didn't see you there. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Stacy, also known as Squishy, and I own a small handmade business called Squishy Creations SC, and I specialize in making crochet plushies and other things that I feel like. And for the very small, tiny handful of people who have seen my videos before, hi, welcome back! I know it's been a while. It's been over a year and a half since I last posted a YouTube video, and I can explain, I promise. It's been a really hectic year and a half, and a lot has happened. Where do I start? If you have seen my previous videos, you might have noticed that the background is different. I have a little bit of a different setup, and that's because I moved. Actually, I'm coming up to 1 year since I moved into this space. I did move in on March of 2024, and it is now March 2025. I guess this is gonna be more of like a life update video and what's going on. I wrote a couple notes in my notebook to help me stay on topic with what I want to talk about in this video, so if I'm looking down, that's why. But yeah, the first thing I wrote was about the whole moving thing. That was, I know, like, if you ever had to like move your entire life from one place to another, I know you understand how hectic it is to move by itself, on its own. And that was a lot. After moving, I kind of got into like a crochet slump where I haven't been able to like really get my crojo back on. But yeah, moving did take a huge toll on me mentally and physically, and I guess that was more of like the catalyst that caused me to, you know, spiral downwards, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to mention about my health crisis, because I don't think anyone's really interested in knowing more about that. Like, yeah, literally no one cares. Like, yeah. More on the positive side, I started selling at small markets. I never thought that would be a possibility for me. I mean, I watch a lot of crochet YouTubers who talk about, you know, like market prep or like selling at my markets and how much I made, what I sold, and all that stuff. Like, that's so cool and like really inspiring. But I never thought that I would be able to do that type of thing. But then one day I finally got my crojo back, and then I was like a machine and I couldn't stop crocheting non-stop. And then I started like refining my technique. I was doing a lot of research. I'm a bit disappointed that I didn't share more of this journey with you guys, because I really want to look back on it, and it was really transformative. It was really cool. But that's okay. And then I finally got the confidence to start selling in person, and I was really nervous at first, and I still am a little bit, but we're getting through that. And I expected to sell like 2 things. Like, that was my goal. Like, if I was able to sell like 2 things, I will be ecstatic. I will be over the moon ecstatic. And at the end of the day, I ended up making a lot more than 2 sales. So then I went again the next day, and it went even better, and then I kept going. So then I was like, wait, I'm actually doing good. Okay, let's keep going. I'll do it again. But yeah, I was getting a lot of support from the people there, like locals and other vendors as well. I was surprised that there weren't any other crochet tables. Like, from what I remember, I didn't see anyone else selling crochet stuff at that time, and I was just like, That's crazy. Wow, like I feel like crochet is super oversaturated. You'd expect at least one or more to be already set up there, but I feel like I got in at a really good time and like really, really grateful for that. I'm still currently selling at markets and it's been really life-changing and it's helping me build up my confidence a little bit. And I noticed as I was vending, a lot of people were asking me if I had any business cards or where they could find me on social media, if I sold online, if I had an Etsy shop, and I was not expecting those questions at all, but I did have, you know, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, but I wasn't active during that time. But I gave that information to them anyway, and I had some business cards from, like, I just had them. So I just gave them out to people, and I started getting more traction there. And then in my mind, I was thinking, like, well, what am I doing? All these people have my socials, and I'm not doing anything on them right now. I should start posting and making content for, like, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook even. Oh, and also at that time, I think my Etsy shop was on vacation mode for the longest time because I was just so not okay. I could not even think about making an order. But then I thought, you know what? I feel well enough to be able to take on online orders as well. So I decided to open up the floodgates and I locked in on social media. Mostly short form content, actually only short form content because I did not even consider YouTube at this point. And it was just like, oh, well, I'll make a TikTok of this, I'll take some videos of like whatever I'm doing. I had a couple ideas in mind. I wanted to follow some trends and, you know, this and that. It was all really fun. And I think my creativity and motivation comes in waves. I don't get like a steady stream of it, and I recognize when it's starting to come, so I like to take advantage of that and hone in on that motivation, that energy and everything, and I guess turned into a workaholic. Some days I didn't sleep. That's not the healthiest. I wouldn't recommend that at all. But for me, if I stopped working while I was having this creative energy come to me, I felt like I'd be wasting it, right? And then once the wave ends, that's it. Like, who knows when the next time I will be able to get that creative burst again. So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out still, because right now I am feeling like that creative wave, and that's why I want to create. And I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make long form content. I want to make a YouTube video. That's what I'm gonna do now. But you know, I can't make any promises that I will be here as consistently as I would like to be, because just the way that my attention span works, I finally like understood that that's kind of how my brain and my motivation, you know, So when I first started going to the flea market was towards the end of August, and I continued on through September, October, spooky season. I had a bunch of like little pumpkins, ghosties, like spooky related plushies. I loved it. I loved doing like different themes. One thing about me is that like I never have the same table set up every time, because throughout the week I keep coming up with like different plushie ideas that I want to sell, and then I make that, and then it's like, oh well, where am I gonna put this, because this wasn't here last time, so then it's a completely different table setup since the last. I believe that works in my favor, because even people who have seen my table before, they come back and they see it's something new, it's something different, that's exciting, and then it makes them want to look around. That's something I want to keep doing, although it is exhausting and my setup time is so long. I'd be too embarrassed to let you know how long it takes me to set up like a freaking 8-foot table. Like, it's not that big of a table, but I have so much stuff. Yeah, it can be really exhausting, but I love it. I love it. I love that there's always something new to see when you come to my table every weekend. I believe I went on a little bit of a tangent, but that's fine. I kind of want to keep this video more organic than structured, really. I just have these bullet points to keep me on track a little bit more. But the next bullet point I wrote was holidays. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with the changing of seasons. Like when October came, spooky season, I was making all kinds of pumpkins, little ghosties, you know, all that fun, spooky related stuff, and people loved it. I loved it. And around this time, I was starting to get a bunch of different custom orders. People were commissioning me to make them certain plushies that I literally, honestly, I've never heard of before, but is anyone else like this? Like, when you're talking face-to-face with someone, they give you a request, do you suddenly lose the ability to say no? Or is that just me? Because, like, someone... I don't want to be too specific in case they, like, watch this, but, like, someone asked me to make something that I literally never heard of in my life, and they're like, can you make that for me? And I want to say no. I want to be like, well, hold on, not no completely, I just want to be like, well, hold on, let me do some research first, and we'll, you know, take it slow, you know. No, I was like this. Yeah, of course, love that for you. Yeah. That, okay, yeah, I'm definitely a people pleaser, and I don't want to say no to people. It breaks my heart, and I gotta stop. I gotta build boundaries. Boundaries are important. That's also something that I am working on. What is this video? Is this video like what's going on, a life update, or is it like, oh, what am I trying to do better on? Like, it's everything. It's a mess. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's kind of an issue, because if they commission me to make something that's completely out of my comfort zone and I say yes, absolutely no hesitation, and then I go ahead and start making it and I'm like, wait, I actually don't know what I'm doing, and then I don't want to like end up telling them like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing actually, can we just like not do this anymore? Because I feel like that'd be even worse than just like saying no outright. Like, what am I doing? Like, you know, well, luckily I've been able to successfully do most of the custom orders that I was requested to do, and you know, I'm trying to look at the positives. It just seems like this is a constant pattern. Every new commission I get is more and more out of my comfort zone than the last. But the good thing about that is that I'm always gonna be improving and getting better at my craft, and you know, like, it's honestly like a win-win if you look at it that way. There's no doubt that I'm constantly improving in that aspect, which is a really wonderful thing. But you know, sometimes it can just be really stressful when I'm just literally not familiar with the character and there's no pattern that exists, so I have to make it myself. This might be another tangent. I didn't write this, but I do want to talk about it now that it's in my head. Pricing. How do y'all price your stuff? General formula is like material cost plus labor times hourly rate or something like that. I tried to do that, and then a lot of people were like not so happy about the prices, and well, I think it also has something to do with the demographic and the place where I am selling, because it's not like a craft fair or like a festival where most people there will acknowledge that it's a handmade product that you're selling. It's a freaking flea market. I mean, like, people go to flea markets to get deals, and that's probably why I didn't see any crochet tables at the flea market, because it's like not the place for it. Well, I'm already there, and most of my reactions were like really overwhelmingly positive, so I'm gonna keep doing that because it's working out for the most part. Pricing wise, yeah, I do get a lot of like weird looks from people when they see my prices, and it's just awkward when people come to my table and then they compliment me for my work until they see the price, and then they're like, oh, that's outrageous, like I can't believe that you would charge so much for that. And I kid you not, there was a dude who came to my table and was calling me a scammer because of my prices, and it's like, dude, do you even know what that means? For reference, okay, don't hate me for my prices. I don't know what I'm doing, okay? Do any of us know what we're doing? Keep in mind that this is a flea market, and flea markets are known for like more inexpensive products, so I adjusted my prices accordingly. And if I should do something differently, if you want, you can give me constructive criticism, but please don't hate me. I'm very sensitive. And here's just like a general lineup of what I make and sell. So keychains are all $5 each, and they're like this keychain. You know what a keychain is. Small plushies are like $6, medium plushies are like $7 to $8, and then larger plushies are $9 to $12, and then extra large plushies that are like probably this size are like $15 and more. And I know to some people that might seem outrageously low, and I agree. I completely agree. I would love to raise my prices, but I worry that I've been there for too long with these prices that people will start questioning me and like not trusting me anymore if they notice that my prices have like gotten jacked up. I don't know. But there were other vendors there that saw my table and like loved my work and told me that I need to raise my prices more and I should probably listen to them. But when you put it next to each other, like the majority of the people I get are complaining about my prices being too high, and then there's a small handful of people saying they're too low, and it's like, you can never win. What do I do? I don't know. I'm trying so hard to find a middle ground. Someone was telling me the other day that if someone complains about my prices, then my products simply are not for them. My plushies don't deserve to be in a home with them because they're not going to appreciate the labor, the work, the effort, and the love put into creating them, because they're so worried about the price, even though the price is already low enough. Oh man, and another thing about a flea market, you can haggle the prices. Like, that's perfectly acceptable. I get it, it's a flea market. Again, that's a thing there. But if I'm already setting my prices low, I make axolotls. Those are pretty popular. They're like this big. Really cute, kind of a pain in the butt to make, but I love them. And a lot of people do love them and are a fan, and I sell them for $8. Yeah, $8. And on more than one occasion, I had someone try to haggle me for the axolotl, and they're like, oh, it's $8. Well, can I get it for $5 instead? Like, I mean, like, just think about it. It takes like 30 to 40 minutes for me to make one axolotl. $5? And not even including the material costs, but $5? Even if I was like really fast, like it took me 30 minutes to make it, okay? So $5 for 30 minutes, that's $10 an hour. In my state, the minimum wage is $15 an hour. So So I'd be like severely underpaying myself, right? Yeah, totally. I don't know. But then, like, if I say no, it's $8 and the prices are not negotiable, and then they end up walking away and I end up losing that sale. Like, would I have rather made $0, or would I have rather made $5 and disrespected myself even more? I don't know. Yeah, so usually when people haggle like that, I draw the line there. Like, that's a boundary. No, you cannot. You cannot have it for $5. It's just, that's just mad disrespectful, honestly. I have signs everywhere that say, oh, this is handmade, and even on some of my larger plushies, I write out the amount of time it took to crochet it on the price tag. I feel like that helps a lot, getting people to understand that this is handmade. I just feel like in a world full of ever-evolving technology, machines, AI, a lot of people's idea of handmade goods are a bit skewed, and I understand that. I can't be mad at that. And I mean, it's just kind of the world we live in today. I'm not gonna lose sleep over that. I mean, it happens sometimes, but you know, I also get really amazing people. I had a huge strawberry plushie and I was selling it for $15, and to the person who bought it, thank you. I love you so much and I appreciate you with all my heart. You made my whole day that day. She bought it and she handed me a 20, and as I was about to give her a 5 back, she said, keep the change. And I was like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, like, it made me feel so good. Like, is that a tip? Are you tipping me? I got a tip! And there's a lot of people like that, actually. They'll just say, like, keep the change, just keep the change. It's just like music in my ears. I feel like those are the people that get it. They get it. What's next? Oh, yeah, holidays. Yeah, this is where we start getting into a little more sad topic. So, brace yourself, trigger warning, I don't know. So, yeah, we were talking about, I was selling in October, I was getting a bunch of custom orders, and like I don't know how to say no, right? Yeah, I kept accepting custom orders. Yeah. It got to a point where I had about 26 custom orders to do at a time, and this was a really, really stressful time because I was not sleeping, and if I was, it was only like a 30-minute nap at a time. And because I had to get these done, I had like a deadline, I had a time frame, and on top of that, I still had to keep up with my social media presence. Like, I was posting every day on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and I was also making Etsy orders and like marketing, all that stuff. And in addition to all this that I had already mentioned, I still had to keep making inventory for my actual table at the flea market because I am a regular vendor there now. They have given me a permanent spot, which felt great. I'm pretty close to the front, so it's hard to miss me when you walk into the building, so that's great. I'm really happy about the table placement, and I'm guaranteed that table every weekend, so it's great. It was really difficult trying to juggle all of these tasks and balancing it to the point where I was abandoning my mental and physical health and my sleep. I wasn't eating as much as I should be. I wasn't drinking water. It was just like crochet, 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 crochet. Gotta get this done, gotta get this done. And then the only breaks I would get from crochet is filming TikTok videos of me crocheting something else. And at that point, trying to think back, like, was I even enjoying it at that point? was I even happy, or was I more like, oh, I gotta get this done or else bad things will happen? Was it more like, I have to do this or else people will hate me type of thing? You know where this is leading to. Burnout. Yep. You know, something we're all so familiar with. If you overwork yourself for too long, you will inevitably burn out, and that's exactly what happened to me. I had a difficult holiday. I think it started in October, where my customs were like starting to pick up, and then November was like the peak of it, and then December was kind of like the peak of it as well. I don't know, I guess they were equally as involved. And after Christmas, I just disappeared. I disappeared from social media completely without any warning. No, oh, hi guys, I'm gonna be taking a little break. Nope, none of that. Just bye. Falls off the face of the internet. And that wasn't the first time I did that, you know, yikes. So that kind of leads us to where we are now. Oh, I would also like to mention that I did not crochet for the entire month of January. That was a new low for me. And it's my fault. I did that to myself. If I was gonna work 24/7, non-stop with minimal breaks, minimal food, minimal sleep, minimal self-care, like nothing, like what did I think was gonna happen? Girl, what are you doing? Looking back now, it's like, what was I thinking? I know what I was thinking. I was thinking, gotta get this done, I gotta, it's too much. So, yeah. And I guess I upset a few people in the process when some of their customs were gonna be a little bit later than expected. I did end up finishing them, but they were not happy with me despite me explaining to them the situation, like, hey, I'm really backed up and, you know, this is happening and this, and like, hope you understand. Nope. No understanding. So that really hurt me and caused my mental state to kind of deteriorate. And you know how sometimes your mental state can manifest as physical symptoms. At least that's what happened to me, and I was doing so bad mentally. I had reached a new low. I was really anxious and stressed about everything, and then I started feeling physically really fatigued, and like I couldn't move or get out of bed. My wrists were killing me, but I worked through the pain anyway, and that's a big no-no. Like, don't do that. Girl, do you want to get arthritis in your 20s? Like, I wasn't thinking clearly, and how could I? I wasn't sleeping. I know I keep doing this. Like, I decided to cut bangs for myself, and I just never trimmed them, so now they're like all over the place, and I don't know what to do with them. I tried bangs for a little bit, and I'm still indecisive whether or not I want to keep having bangs or if I want to just grow them out. So yeah, don't mind me. If this bothers you, I'm so sorry. Alright, so yeah, we're getting to the point where I had another health crisis. No surprise there. It was even worse now because I was starting to get seizures. Like, really. Sorry, this is really difficult for me to talk about, but they were really intense, and I had to go see a bunch of doctors. It took forever to find a neurologist. Is it just me, or like is this for everyone? That was a mess. I had to do a whole bunch of testing, and it was a lot. This happened during January, and I think I had a couple leftover customs during that time. It was very few. It was like 1 or 2. Thankfully, these people understood, and they were really patient with me. Despite my shortcomings, they were able to be understanding, and they were still happy when I finished their customs, and that made me feel really good. I'm just really grateful for those positive interactions, because I was expecting them to be so angry with me, and you know how you think of worst case scenarios all the time. That was me. I've made it to the end of my list. I have no idea how long this video is gonna be. If it's over an hour, wow, okay, I'm so sorry. So sorry. February, I started slowly getting back into it. I still haven't posted on social media. What? I still haven't posted much on social media. I did do one Instagram post on Valentine's Day. I crocheted a little rose. You should go check it out. I don't know. I'll leave my Instagram in the description if you care. Other than that, nothing else. Still kind of MIA. I'm scared to open my TikTok. But I do have a couple plans on what videos I want to film, and I do have some content ideas, both short form and long form. So that's exciting. That kind of leads us here. And I wrote, I'm trying to take it slow. So we don't need this anymore, because we're here in the present moment, and yes, I am trying to take things slow so I don't end up having another health crisis. It's really challenging to keep things balanced. I need a drink. Y'all ever tried this? This is Dr. Pepper, strawberries and cream. It's the best. It's my favorite drink ever. Anyways, that's pretty much my life update. If you're still here, thanks for sticking around and listening. You're a real one. And if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? You stayed here for the whole video and you're not subscribed? Click the button. You're literally exhibiting subscriber behavior. You might as well be one. I want to close this out with something positive, so, you know, I do plan on making more videos in the future. Some like this. This was a bit more like rambly and stuff, but I'm actually gonna be doing things instead of yapping away. So if you're looking forward to that, hit the bell button so you know when I post next. I'm gonna try really hard this time around to take better care of myself, my physical and mental well-being. I'm gonna take breaks. I'm going to sleep enough. I'm gonna drink enough water. I'm gonna eat enough food and just take better care of myself, because what good is running a crochet business if the artist is not feeling her best? How am I gonna produce the best quality work if I'm not feeling that? I have a lot of new content ideas coming up very soon, so until then, stay safe, take care of yourself, so we can meet in the next one.